Coming up from Oshkosh, an exclusive interview with the Jetman, a character that's a big hit with the kids, a green airplane, and a visit to that quirky fly market. AOPA Live this week begins in just a moment. Oshkosh is where people come to make news, and we've just learned something that could affect all pilots. Hello everyone, welcome to our final special edition of AOPA Live this week from AirVenture 2013. I'm Tom Haynes, thanks for joining us.
This is the first place you've heard this.
Yes, Senator Inhofe is at it again. In an exclusive AOPA Live interview, the senior senator from Oklahoma and avid pilot said he is going to push for new legislation, the Pilot's Bill of Rights 2.
Where the FAA has been unfair, we need to clean this thing up. We're addressing the thing that you guys, the AOPA, has said that 28% of the complaints they have to do with medical certification. We're addressing that. And the thing is taking on a bureaucracy. I can't think of one House, Senate, Democrat, or Republican who's willing to do that because it's dumb, you can't beat them. But I started out with the Environmental Protection Agency on how they're trying to destroy jobs in America, and I have been relentless in that. But I hate to say this, I've got a lot of good friends who are in the FAA, but that bureaucracy is almost as bad as the EPA.
Senator Inhofe wants pilots to tell him about other areas where they think the FAA has treated them unfairly. You can see the complete interview on AOPAlive.org. You can find a lot of characters here at Oshkosh. One character is wowing the younger set. His name is Dusty, and he just might inspire a whole new generation of flyers.
I think it's really cool that Dusty's in his own movie because he's a plane, and that's pretty cool. I'm really excited to watch him.
I wish I could be a pilot to drive in a Dusty.
I want to fly because I just really like airplanes.
Where's the real Dusty?
Right there.
As a parent, you want to encourage your kids to follow their dreams, and I think aviation just opens up so many opportunities for anyone. We always want to encourage young kids to get in aviation. It's critical to the future of aviation for America. I'm hoping that this leads kids into aviation just like Top Gun did 20 years ago, and we need this kind of thing to get youth excited about aviation.
My dream is to become a pilot. I want to follow my dream.
The pre-premiere of Planes played here at AirVenture. We'll have crowd reactions to the animated film next week. The film will be in theaters August 9th, and our friends at Redbird will have a full-motion simulator on the red carpet for all the VIP guests to try at the movie's Hollywood premiere. Well, besides characters, there are some other unique aircraft scattered around the field here at AirVenture, and for one, unique is in the name. Here's more from AOPA Pilot Editor-at-Large, Tom Horn.
I'm here today with Green Wing International's TNU, who's president of the parent company, Unique International. And behind us is the Green Wing E-Spider. Tien, how do you see the E-Spider fitting into the market today?
I think the E-Spider is something for somebody enjoy flying with no noise, with comfortable flying. It will fly 1 hour with some reserve. This is more like American light sport, no more ultralight.
And you're selling the E-Spider now?
Yes, as a kid.
As a kid?
Yes.
Amateur built,
yes.
Experimental. And the price?
Below $40,000.
So it's your company that's developing the batteries, correct?
Yeah, we buy the cell, then we develop the whole system around the cell, like a BMS, temperature control, heating system, data logging, and the charging system. That's a lot of things around it to make sure this is safe and under control.
Where do you see the electric propulsion industry in general aviation going in the next, say, 10 years? Do you think we'll ever get to a four-seater that can fly for 4 hours?
Yes. You don't even need a 10-year. Two-seater E430 we will be available next year in Europe. Maybe end of next year USA, depending on the process. But four-seater takes much longer.
So four-seater, sort of a Skyhawk replacement is going to be probably more than 10 years.
Maybe 5 to 10, I would feel like.
5 to 10.
Yes, that's my feeling.
Thanks very much.
You're welcome.
Tom Horn, AOPA Live.
And while we're on the subject of electrically powered devices, one of the hottest draws inside the AOPA tent behind me runs on a battery-powered iPad. It's AOPA's electronic flight bag called, cleverly enough, FlyQ EFB. We've been giving demos of the app several times a day. People have been flocking to the tent to check it out. AOPA online product manager Kim Okasik says the buzz is spreading by word of mouth.
So one of the things that makes us most excited that we've heard all week is my buddy told me about FlyQ. He saw the demo earlier this week. He said, I have to come check it out. Now I see what he's talking about. We've had people all week come in and tell us that they've heard about it. He says, I've heard about this FlyQ thing. What is it? And soon when they walk away, they're excited about what it is, and they're like, that's for me.
And remember, there is a special discounted AirVenture price on the FlyQ EFB through the end of the show. You don't have to be here to get it either. It's all available online at aopa.org/FlyQ. Here's another idea that seems to be taking off, pun intended. Open Airplane. It's the service that lets you get a checkout once a year, then rent an airplane anywhere in the network. The program launched with just a handful of locations, but have added 8 more in the last month. Open Airplane co-founder Rod Rakic says Open Airplane adds value to your certificate.
That's the problem that we're ultimately trying to solve. By giving people access to aircraft all around the country through the rental model, we believe that we can increase the amount of flying that pilots do in a significant, impactful way.
Traveling about the country to rent an airplane may be one thing, but traveling from around the world for aviation, something else. One of the things you hear at Oshkosh is a lot of different accents.
My name is Alfonso Martinez. I am from San Luis Potosí, Mexico.
My name's Kathy Sutton. I'm from Toronto, Canada. I'm coming to Oshkosh for 30 years, and it's my 3rd time flying in.
I'm Walter.
I'm David.
And we are from Karlsruhe in Germany.
My name is Won Lee.
My name is Hyo Lee.
We are from Busan, Korea. Oshkosh is our dream city. We love it here.
Here at Oshkosh, we have registered nearly 1,000 international visitors from 54 different countries, all the way from Argentina to Zimbabwe.
People come from all around the world to come to Oshkosh because it holds a unique advantage of having new ideas, old ideas, and dreams are all in the one place, where I don't know of any other place I can go and see all that at once.
There's a comradeship amongst pilots, and it's personified in this place here. It's just out of this world.
Oshkosh is considered the mecca of aviation. So all pilots or would-be pilots aspire to coming to Oshkosh.
From all walks of life, their common denominator is that they love flying.
I think there's an enormous amount of camaraderie because everybody here has got that common interest, whether they actually fly or whether they're just interested. It's something that is in common with everybody here.
It's just a whole melting pot of aviation. I mean, where do you find that except for Oshkosh?
We mingle with people from the USA and a lot of people from outside the USA, but the campsite is half the fun of Oshkosh because the party happens at night. People come into the campsite, they come and talk to us, and they hear from Brazil or whatever, and it's just great, just to mix with everyone.
The fellowship, the friendship, you just can't describe it to anybody back home. They cannot appreciate it until they actually can see it and experience it.
We fly to Oshkosh because Oshkosh is the greatest air show. It's freedom of flying, and there is a lot of people from all over the world that really are good companions. We are all friends, and we are people that talk the same language. Aviation is the same language for everyone.
I love it here. Yeah, so nice.
Cheers.
Cheers.
And here's one international traveler with a unique form of transportation who's also one of the most talked about acts at AirVenture this year. His sensational show is a real crowd pleaser. We wanted to get a look at the man under the wings. AOPA Live's Paul Harrop got an exclusive interview with Yves Rossi.
All right, there's the descent.
Jetman, soaring high above AirVenture, has the crowd enthralled. People watching, staring, and taking pictures as Yves Rossi soars on his jet-powered wing. It's enough to inspire people to dream of flight, and it takes Rossi full circle to when he knew he wanted to fly.
I was inspired at an air show by the Patrouille Suisse, that's the Blue Angels or Thunderbirds of the Swiss Air Force.
Rossi served in the Swiss military as an aviator, but he wasn't always a good stick.
I was not a very good student pilot. It was difficult for me to learn. I was not, how do you say, just like that. I had really to learn that, to repeat and to, What I did learn is, okay, you can make mistakes, don't repeat them. And that's really what I think the key that I did success in aviation.
Rossi has taken that success to a level most have dreamt of, but no others have achieved. But he doesn't think it has to stay that way.
What would you say to a young person that sees Jetman out there and says, I want to do this?
I say, yeah, try. Actually, that you should be first a good parachutist. But I would tell him, if you dream to fly like that, hold on tight to that dream and find perhaps another solution, because for sure that's the solution I found to fly like that. But for sure there are other solutions.
Rossi is currently training a protege and has plans to offer a school in how to be a jetman. Paul Harrop, AOPA Live.
I don't think I'll trade my A36 Bonanza for a jetpack anytime soon. When we come back, Jetman was one of the acts booked to make up for the loss of military aircraft here at the show. We'll take a look at how the sequester has affected AirVenture. And you can find anything you want at the Fly Market. Stick around, much more to come from Oshkosh. Welcome back. You're watching a special AOPA Live this week from AirVenture in Oshkosh. So how much impact has the U.S. military pullback had on the show? We ask around.
We were on the initial schedule for the Air Force Thunderbirds this year back in December when they released their schedule, and we were looking forward to working with them. Unfortunately, sequestration came along. It never got past much more of the initial planning stage, so it's almost like having that winning lottery ticket that you never bought.
I think that they should definitely be more active with the show. I mean, there are a lot of enthusiasts here and, people that, want to see that represented, the military represented. I mean, every now and then you see some guys walking around, with their military gear on, we want to support them. And
so it took a little more imagination to fill the plaza this year. It's very different because of the lack of military aircraft. Often you had what we'd call big tails out there. If you had a C-5, a C-130, a C-17, that tail would stand up and you could see it for a lot of ways. So we had to fill with a lot of different airplanes, a lot of Warbird aircraft. This year we have the Return to Champions, where we bring Warbird, vintage, home-built aircraft in, put them right at center stage, talk about them, talk about the airplanes, the owners, and make a special occasion out of that.
I mean, it'd be cool to have the jets, but there's only so much spaces in the square, and if you have the same thing every year, it's just not fun anymore.
Square's a little bit emptier, but other than that, they're filling it up fine.
I was actually really excited about the F-35, because that's like the newest jet they've made. They canceled the FY-22, so I wasn't really expecting that to be here this year. Still a bummer that it couldn't show up.
The one nice thing is we're not as beholden to current military stock as a lot of air shows. Air shows have canceled throughout the entire country because they rely on those military aircraft to bring in the crowds. Here it's a fly-in. The people who attend the event bring in the airplanes that other people look at, so while we certainly miss it, it's not something that's a showstopper for us.
Here's another new airplane on the U.S. market. The Aquila A211 is a two-seat composite low-wing. Southeast Aero, U.S. importer of the extra aircraft, is selling two models. One is a glass panel and is designed for cruising. The other, a six-pack version, is meant as a trainer. Kramer Upchurch, president of Southeast Aero, says it's cool, comfortable, and economical.
It's basically a 110, 120 knot airplane, burns about 5 gallons an hour, 4 or 5 hour legs. Very comfortable little airplane for touring and for training.
Since it is designed to be a trainer, the front landing gear is beefed up with a shock. And check out that wheel pant. Costs vary from $225,000 to $265,000 depending on equipment. And here's another new product from that innovative little company, PS Engineering. Flight Training Magazine editor Ian Twombly reports.
Now, radios and audio panels aren't exactly sexy, but
Greg here with PS Engineering. I think he's going to be getting a lot of love letters from certain airplane owners regardless. And Greg, tell us why.
Well, we have a new product out. It's called the PAR 200. We had a mission to make an affordable audio panel with integrated radio along with saving space, and I think we've accomplished our mission. So some of the neat things about it is that it helps save panel space. Panel space is a premium in most aircraft, so what we've done is we've integrated a control head for the remote radio, which is actually a trig radio, and we also got the whole system TSO approved. From left to right, this is the intercom portion of the audio panel, this is the audio panel, and then this is actually the remote radio functionality. You have two other inputs for A1 and A2. One feature about this box is you can have split comm capability, so you can have pilot on comm 1 and then co-pilot on comm 2. Both can transmit and receive at the same time on different radios. Something else it has is built-in Bluetooth. So if you have a iPhone or a BlackBerry or a Droid phone, all you have to do is go through the process of setting up your Bluetooth function. You can stream music, make phone calls, and if you have the phone in your pocket, you can hear the ringing in your headset. Depending on your ICS button, if you're in the isolate, only the pilot's on the phone. If you're in the all headsets are on the phone. If you're in the crew, only pilot and co-pilot.
Now tell us, you guys work through a dealer network, correct? So where can folks get it, and how much does it cost?
We do have a dealer network you can go through as long as you're a PS Engineering. The MAP price on it is $25.95, and it'll be shipping right after the show.
Fantastic. Ian Twombly, AOPA Live.
There are a lot of superlatives to describe Oshkosh. 10,000 airplanes, 500,000 visitors. The numbers go on and on.
Hi, this is Dick Napinski from the EA Communications staff. You know, people think about Oshkosh, they think about airplanes. But there are numbers big and small all over the grounds that make the difference when you put together the world's greatest aviation celebration. Let's take a look at some of those numbers.
We have 1,200 of these porta potties all over the site here at EAA.
5,001 ice cream cones. 25,000 t-shirts.
4,800 volunteers.
30,000 A&W root beer floats.
6,000 traffic cones.
10,000
airplanes.
1,500 cheeseburgers.
2 million sheets of toilet paper.
500,000 visitors. 6,000 pizzas.
9 miles of fencing.
300 pounds of pork.
5.2 miles of flight line.
3,000 pounds of A&W Wisconsin cheese curds.
220 tons of trash.
20,000 soft serve vanilla cones.
9,000 drive-in campsites. Woo-hoo! Oshkosh!
That's the flight line, that's Oshkosh, that's AirVenture. Thanks for joining us here.
And finally, no trip to Oshkosh is complete without a visit to the fly market. Our own Tom Horn just can't stay away.
Hi, Tom Horn here. You know, one of the big institutions at AirVenture is the flea market, get it? And you can get anything here, anything to do with aviation, and maybe not even with aviation. Every kind of part for everything. Let's take a look around and see just exactly what you can get in the flea market. We're talking knickknacks. Idaho 82. Want them? They got them. A metal sign advertising the Mile High Club. A DVD of Sergei Eisenstein's Ivan the Terrible. A broken manifold pressure indicator. Pots and pans of every description. The original air chair. Beer not included. At the Honda booth, it's all about lawnmowers. The fonts. Here's that Chevy Nova trunk emblem that fell off your car back in 1972. Yeah, baby, a chrome-plated snowblower. Mister, you got a 53 Ford with a rusted-out taillight? Well, they'll fix it up for you. 105 millimeter artillery casing, used. A Navy ceremonial sword. No comment. Reporting from the fly market, Tom Horn, AOPA Live.
And that's our final show from AirVenture 2013 in Oshkosh. We've had a lot of fun. We hope you have too. Thanks to all the folks who've extended their help and hospitality. And we hope to see you again next Thursday for AOPA Live this week. I'm Tom Haynes.